Blitzers, welcome back to the channel. Got a treat for you today. Two awesome games from Goose and Gent. Orange and Gent. Jorange. Kidding. First is here with Goose in Middleburg, and Goose is driving, which has to be one of his favorite tanks because most of his great replays are in the Sheridan, the NERFD Sheridan, the missile-less Sheridan. You know, and I think you're going to enjoy this one. Please do not miss the ending of this one or the next. You will be shooting yourself in the face. Goose is a tremendous player, and one of the things I love watching him play, I am an impatient person and an impatient blitzer. Goose is incredibly patient. And I think honestly, you got to watch Gent as well. You know, Gent is also one of the differences between watching some pros like Gent and Goose and also Garage. You just see some tremendous patience, which is a requirement here. So it looks like, anyway, let's get in the game. So Middleburg is call. He's actually, Goose is actually playing a couple of guys from Rain, so he's got some good competition. Goose was, I think, part of V2 for a while, so he's got a V2 tune. Clearly, likely a good player. I didn't look up the guy. Obviously, the Rain players are some of the best in the game. And Goose is taking the aggressive position here of getting shots and using the Sheridan to the good gun impression of the Sheridan to get. Now, I will say it's a lot harder now than it used to be. Goose, you just launch missiles nonstop. But you can see here, and if you're a player who's mad at the lack of missiles, I think really watch how Goose is using this tank. I think there's a lot to be learned here. There is a M48 patent that just gets smoked by the Sheridan. It's got a great gun. I love the velocity on the cannon here of the Sheridan. And I still love the Alpha. It's a unique tank. That's one of my favorite things about this tank. So Goose continues with the spot. They haven't pushed him out yet. It's 5-on-5 right now. The Rain guys are right there in the middle. There is one of them, the M48, and Goose hits him really, really, really hard in the face. Leaves him alive, unfortunately, and he is trying to clear him arduously. And there goes Rain 1. There is a SDB. Goose gets another shot into him. And again, talking about patience, what I would have done like probably 2 minutes ago is run out of here like an idiot. Probably got exploded. And it would have mattered. But Goose is patient. Goose is wise. And Goose pushes on a T57 heavy. He does pay for it here with one shot, but he is fast and nimble enough to get the hell out of Dodge. And luckily, the 57 was trying to go after his teammate there and left Goose alone. I will bet you anything this guy rethinks that idea after this. Now, the 57 does have that damn upper plate, and Goose is not able to get a shot into him. He does back up, gets, I don't know what the hell that was. I guess got rammed there. It's now a 3-on-3. Goose is correctly trying to get some clearing of the T57. It's a 2-on-2 up top. So if I'm Goose, I would have assumed that they would have been able to kill one of them. Unfortunately for Goose, it's a T95 and an AMX-30 EOPR thing, and they unfortunately are not able to do so. And now Goose is having to face an IS-7 and an E75 all by himself. Now, this was the shot of the match, in my opinion, in terms of like just pure shooting ability. Not an easy shot. IS-7, not the IS-4 or anything, but it's still not an easy tank to just shoot. Goose gets a beautiful shot into the lower plate, and then watch this. He does take a shot there. He gets, so I guess these idiots are just shooting HE at the Sheridan, which is obviously got spaced armor everywhere but the turret. And so they shoot HE at it, and it gets a very low roll, especially the rear of the Sheridan, which has even more spaced armor. So Goose is able to survive that shot. He's got a little bit of, he got 530-ish HP. And this is what I think where Goose flies loose. The orange gets squeezed. Sorry, all right, I'll stop. But, you know, Goose is facing a one-on-one. This guy's 1,800 hit points. And the good news for Goose is there's 2.5 minutes left. And this is just literally Goose just whittling this guy down. Now, he's in a Sheridan versus E75, but the hit point difference is massive. And he's essentially an HE, high explosive shot to the turret gone. Now, Goose, in my opinion, Goose, don't yell at me, but I think he makes a mistake here. He's trying to get a shot on the hatch of the E75 and gets shot. Now, I don't know how he got such a low roll by the E75. I think the guy must have been shooting HE and partially penned or hit his gun. I didn't look that closely. But Goose is now down to 212, and he is now getting to the point where he just can't take anything. Even an HE shot is going to be a problem. But Goose is wise and Goose is good, and he sticks it right into the E75 here. The lower plate with heat. gets it 450, gets him to be a two shots. All he needs to do. And again, so many players are just trying to get this shot off. But I think what Goose did is it's really, as you're in a heavy tank, it's just frustrating to have to chase around a Sheridan. You never know what the player is going to do. You never know if Goose was just playing for a draw. He's like one of those dumb fucks who plays for draws, which Goose is not. And so you get frustrated with this and you start rushing. And that's what the E75 here is doing. He's just going kind of balls out, trying to kill him. There's now 23 seconds left. Goose is not going to let this be a draw. Beautiful shot there. Gets very, very lucky there. Very, very lucky there. And then this dumbass just pushes forward, and Goose, this is almost like watching a mouse walk into a trap. Shows his side. Easy clear for the Goosey. No Goose for Goose. Squeezed the orange. 66-72 damage. 15-19 base. 3 kills. A win against a rain tune. That is definitely a good tune. And really well played. A lot learned there, Goose. Thanks so much for sharing the replay. Loved it. All right, let's move on to our next pro. This is Gent playing the 292 E1. I never, ever, 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 ever have seen Gent play the T92 E1. So Gent must have had a boring Martin Luther King holiday. Kidding, Gent. I think Gent actually, you do play this tank a little bit. Nonetheless, I will warn you, there is a little bit of toxicity involved in the making of this video. And if you don't like toxicity, go find another fucking YouTube channel. How about that? Of the lovely Map Canal. And he is in a really precarious spot here. Again, I talked about patience, right? And what Jane is already seeing is the entire enemy team is kind of going over to the traditional ACAP. And not only that, Gent's team is just all over the place. It's already a 2 against 7 or 5-7. Now it's 5-on-6, but just things don't look great. And Gent finally realizes, and they are capping. He's got a TD on Gent's team who's capping, which is always a sign. Look at that beautiful snapshot there that on the Defender MK1. That was just lovely. And Gent is using the teensy size of the T92 to wiggle it around and try to get some shots on the Jig Tig. He does theoretically have some help over there. That help comes in the form of turning the Jig Tig to the STA1. I got the STA1 the other day. It is a pile of shit. Camo's kind of cool. All right, and Gent is just trying to clear this guy. It's already a 3-on-5 if you're keeping track. Gent is, or I'm sure realized a long time ago that he is going to have his hands full on this one. But he gets a nice shot into the Jig Tig there, gets him down to about 1 shot. And the STA1 is rushing, STA1 is rushing, STA1 is rushing, STA1 takes a shot right in the face. But Gent's going to go ahead and do what Gent does and clear this baboon. Although I swear to God, I don't understand how an STA could be so fucking stupid. He lost all of his health doing that one YOLO and didn't even get a shot off. Now, anyway, Conway's dead. It's now a 2-on-4. Gent gets the 704 to shoot at HE at him and miss. And I'm shockingly surprised there that did not go in. I think if I were Gent, I was like, what the? Anyway, RNG, fuck you. All right, so nonetheless, Gent is moving now towards spawn and looking for some action. And the good news is, and this is a Gent specialty, I've watched many of his replays, and if you haven't, you should. Gent's always got full health. He is the ultimate conservator of HP. And if anybody tells you that Gent, is out here just farming noobs, he's helping. You saw that comment there. He's trying to get the guy to stay hidden to help his idiotic teammate. I may not be an idiot, I didn't look. And it is a 2 against 3. Now, there are 2 TDs in the enemy's team. Of course, they quickly kill his friend there. Gent gets a terrific shot into the side of the Tiger 2 and clears him. So now he's got, all he has to do is clear 2 full health TDs. The Object 704 and an ISU 152. Now, the problem with that is both of these guys can this high explosive demolish Gent. But the ISU was too far back. So Gent here could take his time. He knew the ISU probably had like 30, 35, 40 seconds before he could get there. And Gent wanted to make sure he did not bounce. If he bounced, he was going to have the ISU come and probably shoot him with HE in the side or rear and cause all kinds of problems. There, literally to that mark, there comes our ISU. General Rodriguez. And unfortunately for the general, he got played here, as you will see in a second. And I really want you to watch the move of the game. I think this one is... So Gent rushes him, gets the ISU to charge him. The ISU's, oh good, I'm gonna ram him. Gent just, just a little reverse. Lets him bump him, make sure he committed to that move. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all she wrote. Now, here comes the toxicity. Gent decided to have some fun with this guy. And I think it's kind of funny. And I like it, Gent. I like it a lot. Gent toys with the game. I don't know. I didn't read every word that was said. I'm sure this guy deserved it. But the funniest part is all the teammates were bitching and moaning. But I think, if you got a great game, you got a minute and a half left, have some fun with it. Gent, I think, just wanted to enjoy himself. Now, as I was watching this, I was like, oh my God, did something happen here that screwed this up? And I obviously did forward a lot of these, sped these up. No, Gent's just having fun. So, I think, Gent, I guess when you're averaging like all this damage per game, it gets boring. So nonetheless, Gent finally clears him. He was just toying around. It's like 6 kills, by the way. He was just toying around. It's like a mouse getting played by a cat. 45-30 damage, 6 kills. Oh my goodness, Gent, what a game. Well played. Really, really terrific comeback. You like this? Subscribe to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.